All right, in this video, I'm going to go over the comprehension questions. Number 1 says, what is the problem that Rumpelstiltskin's daughter faces, and how does she find a solution to it? Well, the problem she faces is the king wants her to make gold, but the problem is she doesn't know how to make gold. So the king is threatening her and says, hey, you need to make me this gold, but she doesn't know how to do it. So how does she solve this problem? Well, she goes about kind of tricking the king, and through this trickery, she is showing him to look at gold in a new way. Okay, he no longer just craves gold. By the end, he realizes that, hey, I don't need to protect all this gold. I can use it to help empower my people. So he changes the way he looks at gold instead. Rather than trying to actually just give him what he wants, she tries to change his mind about the way he thinks about gold, so he's not so greedy about it. Okay, number 2, what kind of person is Rumpelstiltskin's daughter? Do you think she prospered in the end? Support your answer with story details. Okay, again, I'm still having a lot of students not answering all of the parts of the question. So this has 3 different parts. What kind of person is Rumpelstiltskin's daughter? That's the first part. And then, do you think she prospered in the end? That's the second part. And then support your answer with story details. That's the third part. And all of these parts need to be addressed. So, what kind of person is she? Well, she is definitely kind and generous. She shows that by providing coins to the farmers so they can grow their own, so they can buy the means to grow their own food. She convinces the king to give them wool and needles so they can knit clothing during the cold winters. So she's obviously kind and generous. And that also, by tricking the king, she's showing her intelligence as well. Did she prosper in the end? Yeah, I would say she prospered. She ended up becoming prime minister. And prime ministers, you know, that's a very important position. They're paid well. And she's also prospering just from the knowing that she is helping others as well. And I used story details when I talked about how she used her intelligence to kind of trick the king into providing those coins and wool and needles to the farmers. So that was details from the story that helped supported my answer. Okay, number 3. The king's guards are always gnashing their teeth, clutching their swords, and peering about with shifty eyes. If you were Hope, what might you do to change how the guards act? So this is kind of your opinion, but you want to, you know, make it a reasoned opinion, meaning, you know, explain your thinking. So I think, you know, Hope had the right idea when she talked to the king about, hey, if you provide these opportunities for the people to be able to grow their own food and make their own clothes, you give them a little help so they can do that on their own, they won't need to steal from you. They'll be happy. So you won't have to have all these guards protecting you. And so I think she could kind of explain the same thing to the guards and say, look, you know, if you're just kind of nicer, the king's being nicer, because of this, you don't have to be on edge all the time. People aren't trying to get things back from you because they have their own ways of creating their own wealth. So you don't need to worry so much. But again, that's kind of your opinion. Number 4, Rumpelstiltskin's daughter is named Hope. Why do you think the writer chose to end the story with that fact? And why is hope so important to so many people? So hope is obviously important because even when all is lost, if you lose your home and let's say there's an earthquake or a fire and you lose your home and it seems like, there's nowhere to go, you always can have hope that, hey, you know what, there can be a brighter future for me. Everything looks very bleak right now, but sometimes hope is that only thing that people can hold on to. It's the only thing that keeps them going and moving forward and having that grit and perseverance to keep going. Why do I think the author chose hope for Rumpelstiltskin's daughter's name? I think he chose to reveal it at the end of the story for a few reasons. One, I think if we go back to the original Rumpelstiltskin story, the whole idea was that no one could figure out Rumpelstiltskin's name. Okay, and so it was secretive. And so I think the author chose to not reveal her name till the end, trying to stay in line with that kind of original story where he kept her name kind of a secret until the very end. But of course, obviously, the more obvious answer is I think he named it Hope because that's kind of what she provided to the people. She provided them with hope of a better future by not just giving the farmers gold themselves, but giving them a way to create their own wealth. So for example, instead of just buying sweaters for all the farmers, she provided them with wool and needles so they could make their own sweaters. Okay, it's kind of like the old idiom or the old saying that it's better to teach a man to fish than to give a man a fish. So that's kind of similar here. Hope is providing hope for the people by giving them an opportunity to create their own wealth. So I think there's a few reasons why the author chose that name for her and chose to reveal it at the end of the story. Okay, number 5, Reread from Daughter to Daughter on pages 274 and 275. You can also go back and watch the read aloud video if you'd like. What are the similarities between the way Lucy's grandmother makes special empanadas and the way Hope solves her problems in Rumpelstiltskin's Daughter? So I think in both cases, Lucy's grandmother and Hope, in both stories, they are improving on methods of their mothers to help them accomplish their goals. So they're taking what had come before them and just trying to tweak it, improve upon it, make it a little bit better. So I think you see that in both stories. All right, thanks again for watching. Again, if you need any additional help on these comprehension questions, don't hesitate to raise your hand. If you have some other thoughts as well, and you can back them up with reasons and evidence from the text, by all means, use those ideas. My ideas are just suggestions to get you started, okay? All right, thanks again for watching. I'll see you on the next one.